Hello there, Bick Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War Reloaded on the Series X, and this is my insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 1 6. It is entitled Hammer, which is an allusion to the Hammer of Dawn, which we'll shortly be using to stave off the Cedars. You've got a couple of guys down here. There's two grubs. You got Coltrane down here trying to do his best to stave these guys off. And hopefully your teammates will open the doors so that you can go downstairs. And the reason I say that is because there was a couple of times where they were just standing in the way and the door wouldn't open, and it was quite frustrating. So I had to reload a couple of times over there. Sometimes, when you reload a game so many times, things break. One funny thing happened to me earlier. I had for some reason the game screwed up and I had two long shots. I had a long shot on my left slot and my right slot. I was just thinking, you fuck ups. Like, how do you do this? How does this happen? But anyway, this next room, I believe it's a room with those small little enemies. So what I would recommend is, and the name is escaping me now, but they're a prolific enemy. Wretch. They're a wretch. So I would pick up the shotgun, and you're going to get a cutscene in just a moment. And what I would do is I would go down all the way to the far side, and I'll show you exactly where I like to stand. The reason the shotgun is so good is because it has an instant melee, or not. I mean, it is instant, but it has a very effective melee swing to it. So enemies will come. Do you see to the right that gate that broke down? There's a furnace room that they come out. I'm not sure how many come out of there, maybe 4 or 5. The rest of them are on the ceiling, and they'll drop down kind of in front of you. So you don't have to really shoot anybody here. Just swipe at them all is what it boils down to. And I did this tactic on my Ultimate, Gears Ultimate, and it worked pretty well. Yeah, so it doesn't look like too many of them come out of that furnace, but if you stay back here, you're relatively safe. You don't need to keep scanning the ceiling because they're never going to drop on you. They're just going to drop kind of in front of you, so you have plenty of time to swipe at them. And then we have a hammer situation here. Yes, pick up the hammer, you have to, but I would equip my frags because while you're fighting the cedar and fending off its nemesis, there's going to be one room across the way that has a hole in it that you want to seal. Right over here, right in there. Just throw it far. Even if you throw it too far, it'll probably bounce off the back wall and still steal that hole, because a lot of grubs come out of there. So it's not ideal to be fending off the cedar and the cysts while you've got guys on the other side that have escaped from that hole. So if you can seal the hole, you won't have to deal with any grubs shooting at you. So with the Hammer of Dawn, you just stand in place, and it requires an open sky, and you just train it on the cedar for a good period of time. I think it takes 2 full bursts. You don't need to worry about ammunition with the Hammer of Dawn. It doesn't take ammunition. The only time it took ammunition was in the 3rd game. And you can seal E-holes with the Hammer of Dawn as well. You can seal E-holes with frag grenades, with the Hammer of Dawn, or with the torque bow, with the boom shot, any explosive weapon, or any explosive accessory like the frag or the Hammer of Dawn. So you'll probably want to keep the Hammer of Dawn over here. Now there is a tricky situation with a cedar coming up, but it's not until the next chapter. This part over here, there's going to be a cedar in a middle courtyard, and on the far side there's going to be one grub shooting at you, just a standard hammerburst grub. Um, but as you approach, you're going to be spawning wretches, and the Hammer of Dawn doesn't have the best melee action to it. Its swipe is a little ineffective and ineffectual. Surprisingly, you can shoot the Hammer of Dawn back here, even though you're not out in the open. So, what I like to do is I like to bait the wretches down this hallway as much as I can. You are gonna have to stick your neck out a little bit to get them to spawn, and it's just gonna depend on the capriciousness of the game. If your teammates tend to them, but if any of them get past your teammates, you're gonna have to deal with them. So one of the things here is that you can get complacent fending off the cedar like I'm doing now, and then wretches will come up to you. So just keep an ear out for the wretches. The guy on the far side with the hammer burst, he's not too bad. But those cysts that he sends out, those can hit you, and it looks like it might not hit you because they can hit you from kind of far away, at least from like the depth perspective. It can be misleading. Sometimes you get outright killed to them, and it looks like they were kind of far away from you and shouldn't have hit you, but they did. And let's see, do you have to have a Hammer of Dawn anymore? It doesn't matter. Anytime you need a Hammer of Dawn, they place one near you, so you don't need to worry about that. I do sometimes, on the slow walking shit that I've been mentioning, I do fast forward that on occasion if it's not going to disrupt the flow of the video. I also, like, anytime you're standing next to a door and your teammates are coming up to you and, you're waiting on your teammates to open the door, I'll make some edits during that. I might not necessarily fast forward it, but when you get down here, notice that there were two wretches over here by those frag grenades over there, and I think this is part of the slow walking. So I do apologize if you're not interested in, and you don't like fast forwarding this, but I figure the person playing the game is, he walks slowly enough. The player walks slowly enough throughout the whole fucking game. Let's just give the people that are watching, and the player that might be watching a break, because Lord knows the player has to suffer the slow walking all the time. So why have him suffer again watching the slow walking? Because God fucking knows he's been participating in it. And I don't know that it could have been fixed or anything like that. There is one really egregious part. It's called the Comedy of Errors, and in the Ultimate Edition, they it's not that they broke it, but the way that they designed it is that you're locked in a cutscene while a fight is starting, and it's just absolutely deplorable. You'll see it later in the walkthrough. I was hoping that they would fix it for this game, but it seems to be tied to the actual engineering and the pacing of the game. But you'll see it, and I'll be sure to criticize it later. And it really is a damn shame that it wasn't fixed. But the only thing I can think of why it wasn't fixed is apathy, ignorance, or an inability to fix it because it was so ingrained into the engineering of the game. And maybe if they had fixed it, it would cause a series of chain reactions down the line that would break the game. I have no idea, but I do know that we're finished with 1-6, and until we see each other in the next video, please continue to take care.